This is the $100 billion button, a series on the science of money and well-being. It is produced by Sycamore, an app to learn and practice well-being. Visit us at trysycamore.com. To begin, let's start with a story. Imagine that you're walking along the sidewalk late one evening. It's warm out, early autumn. You're alone, hoping to clear your thoughts before bed. The streets are usually pretty quiet this time of night, but tonight, they're empty. Suddenly lightning cracks in the sky above you. Then silence. Seconds later, it starts to pour. This wasn't in the forecast. You start on your route home, quickening your pace. After a block or two, you're drenched. The air temperature feels like it has dropped 10 degrees in a matter of minutes. Out of the corner of your eye, you notice a black van driving slowly just behind you, wipers on, headlights off. How long has that been there? Somewhere behind you, there's a sudden clatter. You swivel around, looking for the sound, but there's no one. You pause, on edge. No one, or rather, nothing, shows. You sigh. Must be a rat in a trash can or something. You turn back around, then scream, then nothing. You wake up on the floor of a large warehouse. It's damp and dimly lit. There's no one else here. It takes you a few moments to collect yourself enough to notice a small card on the ground next to you. You reach over for it. It's your lucky day, it says. Hardly, you think. You toss the card aside and stand up slowly, groaning. The warehouse is abandoned and huge, easily the length of 2 football fields. Or, almost abandoned. At the far end, you can just make out what looks like a small control panel. You begin to walk towards it, shakily. You're still groggy, and wet, and oddly winded. Minutes pass, but eventually you reach it. On the panel are 2 things, a flickering green button, and another card taped to it. You tear off and open the card. It says, "Press the button for $100 billion. No strings attached." You turn the card over, but that's all it says. You look back down at the flickering green button. Back to reality. This series is about money and well-being. More specifically, this series is about how to think about that $100 billion button. That button represents the easiest and largest single transfer of money that anyone in human history has ever received. If you press that button, you are instantaneously vaulted to the top 25 richest people in the world. Is there any possible reason why you shouldn't press it? Should you expect it to make your life better? If so, how much better? And what does better actually mean? Why waste your time on a series about money and well-being? Well, money is everywhere. There are few things that permeate our culture so deeply and in so many ways, yet we rarely talk about it in the terms that should matter most to us: how money affects our well-being. We never learn about it in school at any level of education. We shy away from conversations about money with family and friends. We simply default to assuming that more money is better. But this ignorance seems a bit odd when we consider the lengths to which we go to earn money. We spend around 80,000 hours in the prime years of our lives working. This is a massive, massive commitment. We make huge sacrifices, limiting leisure time, spending time away from family, moving across the country, staying at jobs, and with colleagues we hate, all for our work and the possibility of earning a higher income. The benefits of more money better outweigh the cost of these sacrifices. Moreover, we tie up our self-worth and sense of success with money. In fact, we tend to define success as having money. When we call someone successful, more often than not, we mean they are wealthy. We identify people by how much money they have, quick to recognize and label others as rich or poor. We compare our own wealth with others, whether or not we want to. We want to avoid being poor to the extent that we often stigmatize it. On the flip side, we idolize people who are rich, making lists of them and tracking their wealth online. There are literally scores of websites that track the billions of dollars that the richest people have gained or lost each day. We ask about their daily habits and try to emulate them. We wake up at 5 in the morning or microdose on LSD, or meditate every day, or try hyper-specific diets just because they attribute their success to it. We read their books and invite them to speak. We glorify the rich. We strive to be in their shoes. We do all sorts of wild, reckless things for money. We fall for get-rich-quick schemes for money. We commit crimes for money. We gamble money in casinos for a chance at more money. We bet on sports games and dogs and horses for money. We ruin family relationships over estate money. We plow money into penny stocks and cryptocurrency and gold and other speculative investments with the hope they explode in value. We even push our own moral codes for money. We are inundated with media that reinforces the idea that money is tantamount to a good life. We listen to songs by singers and rappers who boast about the money they have and the things they own. We watch movies about people making it big and leading opulent lives. We read articles and watch shows about ultra-rich celebrities and their daily lives. We read magazines to pore over photos that people took of them on vacation, or out to eat, or at exclusive events. Over the course of a year, we see literally thousands of ads that underscore the idea that we are just one purchase away from a better life. We are surrounded by symbols for money, jewelry, luxury cars, mansions, designer clothes, large boats, handbags, faraway vacations. Our interactions frequently involve money: going shopping, being at work, going out to a restaurant, meeting friends at a bar. All of this is to say that money is everywhere and that the overall message is simple. Having money is good and not having money is bad. More money is better than less money. To some extent, there's obvious and real truth in this. Having money means the ability to afford food and rent and basic necessities, to be able to buy things that make you comfortable, to keep yourself and your family healthy, to work less. Having money for these things is unambiguously good. Not having enough money, on the other hand, is deeply distressing. Living paycheck to paycheck, worrying about the balance in your accounts, dreading a sudden, unexpected expense, having to constantly hunt for the lowest prices and wait for sale offers, taking out loans and owing other people money, supporting other family members, being tied to jobs that provide critical health care and benefits. These are very real concerns. Even in a relatively rich country like the United States, a sizable share of the population lives in financial precarity. Today, the average American holds a debt balance of $96,000 and would have trouble finding $400 in cash to pay for an emergency. That said, the logic that simply having money is good and not having money is bad is not a very nuanced one. What exactly does having money mean? When does that point occur? What does good and bad mean? Is having more money always better than less? There has been a ton of research to try to answer these very questions, suggesting that there is indeed a lot of nuance to the relationship between money and well-being. The point of this series is to shed light on this research and provide a better understanding of the relationship between money and our well-being. Given that we orient huge parts of our lives to making money, we really should have a full understanding of how it affects our happiness. To be clear, this is not a series to make money or capitalism out to be evil, but it is a series to take a sober look at what money does and does not do for us. It is a series to summarize our best data-driven understanding of money's effects on our well-being. It is a series to help you better incorporate money into your life in a healthy way. It is a series to provide another perspective to the onslaught of messaging that money is a cure-all. It is a series to better understand what changes when you press that green button. In the coming episodes, we'll be exploring money and how we should think about it, including what the leading research says about its impact on our well-being. Among other things, we'll dive into money as either a means or an end, how money fits into the primary determinants of well-being, the joy and misery of the super-rich, including lottery winners, the difference between our day-to-day happiness and broader life satisfaction, the pitfalls of the hedonic treadmill, comparisons and other cognitive biases, what money really is, how to spend money well and poorly. consumerism and the difference between goods and experiences, the role of luck and merit in earning potential. And lastly, philanthropy and what it can do for us. For this and more, stay tuned. Hi there, this is Henry, the founder of Sycamore. At Sycamore, we are out to help people better understand, manage, and practice well-being. If you've enjoyed this series so far, please consider sharing it with a friend, and visit us at trysycamore.com to learn more. Thanks again.